Hello, my name's Darren, and I'm a geek. Yes, it's true, I'm a geek. I know, it's hard to believe. I spent about 3 hours on Monday morning telling school children that I was a geek. In an event organised by a teacher at Our Lady's High School in Preston, about 80 children from the school came to where I work, and there were a few different sessions. One was a robotics session where they built little robots using toothbrush heads, and another session was about game design. But the session that I was in was Meet the Geek, and it was kind of a speed dating thing where there were about 8 different geeks around the room with a set of chairs with them around them, and the kids moved between each geek in speed dating style. So 3 to 4 kids would sit with each person, and then after 5 or 6 minutes they'd move on to the next person. So I spent about 3 hours doing that with the three groups of kids. Basically, just it was essentially to give them an idea of the sorts of things that are related to computing, and why they should maybe get excited and be enthusiastic about computing at school, and the opportunities that getting involved with computing could open for them. So we had people from all sorts of different industries. We had myself from the web development side of things. We had people who wrote apps for Android or iPhone. A couple of people from Barclays Bank. Some people from a visual effects company who've worked on the Harry Potter films. There was a TV cameraman there, and an electronics geek who showed a demonstration of a hovering lump of metal using an electromagnet and an Arduino to make it hover just under the electromagnet by altering the current to. Anyway, so yeah, and it was really good fun. I showed them my elephant, who he didn't have a name when I took him to work that morning, but now he has a name, and his name is now Dave the PHP elephant, because PHP is the language I use, and it's probably the most widely used language for web development. I also showed them a printout of what I work on every day, and I've got that here. So I don't know. That's what I work on, and it was really good. But I found that 5 minutes was nowhere near enough time, because I do a bit of an introduction about Dave and PHP and web development and what I do during my day job, and then I asked them if they have any questions. But the time just flew by. They didn't get to ask as many questions as I would have hoped. Maybe I talked too much, but all in all, I think they left with a really good impression, not necessarily just of me, but I'm sure they did, but of geeks in general. Because I did ask them, what, when you think of the word geek, what is it that comes to mind? And invariably the responses involved being nerdy, being a swot, being teacher's pet, wearing glasses, being really thin or really fat. So it was really nice to spend some time with them and get them to realise that actually the people who are doing all this really cool stuff, whether it's working for the BBC like I do, or working for a visual effects company or game company, or any of the other really cool things that computing can lead into, all the people doing that are just normal people. They're people like you, and they're people like me, and there's certainly things that kids can aspire to. They don't have to think that you have to be super brainy to do this stuff, because I'm not super brainy. You don't have to be really good at maths to do a lot of this stuff, because I'm not really good at maths. Okay, if you're writing 3D engines for games, then maybe you need to have a reasonable grasp on 3D maths and matrix manipulation and things like that. But I've been programming for 22 years, and I'm average at maths. I did get an A level, but I passed on the strength of my mechanics and my applied maths, and I completely failed pure maths. So, yeah, they don't need to be scared of thinking that they need to be maths. They don't need to be a super SWAT. I'm not a super SWAT. I don't even have a degree. That's how little of a SWAT I am. Yeah, average people. Anybody can get into it. So we're hoping that they'll have gone away with a little bit of a spark of enthusiasm about getting involved with computing at schools, and with the death of the ICT curriculum as it stands at the moment, and the introduction, the freedom that schools are going to have to introduce computing into schools, then really I hope that more and more kids are going to get involved with computing. And it's not programming, but all sorts of things with digital creativity. So computer-based art or electronics. Anything, there's loads of stuff. I can't think of it now because I haven't prepared. I should have got on the list. Anyway, yeah, computing, digital stuff. It's cool. Video editing. This is another example. Video editing, and those cool things like Facebook and YouTube and that kids use every day. They wouldn't exist with people like me, maybe a bit cleverer than me, but nonetheless, people like me, making them available and putting them together and putting them out there for everybody to use. So yeah, it's cool. There's some really cool stuff. iPlayer, that's another thing. Watching TV on your computer. Yeah, you need nerds. Not nerds. Nerds. No, not nerds. Geeks. Completely different thing. Geek is a badge of honour. I'm proud to be a geek, but don't call me a nerd, because that's completely... No, I'm not a nerd. Do I look like a nerd? Anyway, that was what I was going to say about that. But I also had a really good thing happen this week. On Tuesday, nice man from OpenReach came, and he changed my internets. So rather than getting 2.5 to 3 megabit download and half a megabit upload, I now get about 38 megabit download and about 8 meg upload, because I've got Infinity from those nice people at British Telecom, which is fibre to the cabinet, and it's just so much faster than the internet I had before. It was brilliant. So now I can actually watch video, and I can watch things through iPlayer, and I can watch YouTube without them buffering every 30 seconds. It's a whole new world, I tell you. Anyway, that's me.